Welcome to Learn New Technology. In this video, I am going to explain program basics, which will help you to learn automation newly and any programming language you can easily understand. I am explaining the syntax very simple way. It will very helpful for you beginners learn programming languages. For demo purpose, I took Java and IDE is Eclipse. Let's start now. So in my system, I am opening the Eclipse. So you need to click on launch. Then, so the Eclipse is launching now. Let's wait further. So now we are going to create a new Maven project. So for this, you need to select other, then Maven project, then click on next. So let's check the checkbox, create simple project. Then let's give the group ID and artifact ID. So this is about bridge course. So whoever completed BE and non-technical people, so if they have wish to learn automation, then this course will be very helpful for them. So let's get into the coding. So here the Maven project is created. So this is the project structure, and let's click on source main Java. Then you need to select package. So let's create one package. Package is nothing but just a bag. So this bag contain multiple classes we can create as per our requirement. So here we are selecting the package, then right click new, then class. So now we are going to create the new class in Java. So the class name is test. So we need to check public static void main string args, the main statement of the Java program. So if you check it, then only it will be reflected here. Otherwise, you need to type manually. So SYSU, then tab control space bar, then automatically system.out.println will will be displayed. So in between whatever you type, it will be displayed. Let's run it. For run, you need to click this button. So the output print statement, it's reflected console section, you could see that. So above, now we are going to write one method. So before that, we did not write any method, so just it was executed sequentially. So now we want to include one method. That's why we have added one method above the main statement. So we have created the method void show. So inside the method we have added the print statement line number 6 to 9. It's a method block, one open brace and another one is close brace. So in between whatever you say you require, you can add it as a statement. So when we call this method, inside the block line number 6 to 9 will be executed. So the class name is test. So now we are going to call this method. For that we are going to create the object for this class. So the class name is test and the object is A. Then equal to, then new is the operator, then test is the class name, then A dot show, the automatically it will display the method name. So when we compile and run it, it will give you inside show method. The control is executing the inside the method what we have written, it was executed. So next we are going to see the global variable and the local variable. So the variable which is declared outside the method is called global variable. The variable which is declared inside the method is called local variable. So now we are going to see both variables. So this is global variables, line number 14, as it was declared outside the method. So now we have changed the object name as test. Then you need to change line number 16, object test dot method name show. Then what it will happen, let's see one by one. It's a for your understanding, I'm writing it as global variable. Then now we are going to create one local variable. So the variable which is declared inside the method is called local variable. The line number 7 is local variable. Integer a equal to 10, string b equal to, so inside so b equal to within double quote you can type whatever text you like or whatever string you need, you can add it there. So for your understanding I am commenting that there it's a local variable. So the line number 7 is local variable and line number 15 is global variable. So the global means this variable accessible from any part of the class, as we can access this outside the class as well as inside the method also. Outside the method in as well as inside the method of method, it can be accessible, but it should be within the class. I think it will be very clear, I guess. So when we call this method, it will be printing for our understanding. So let's type it as a insert show method print local variable. So it says that inside show method printing the local variable. Then next there is also inside show method print local variable. So the first line number 8 is printing the local variable a value. So what we have added in line number 7 we have added integer a equal to 10. So it's going to print a equal to 10. So when we call this method line number 5, then line number 9 it's going to print b value. So in line number 7 what we have mentioned string value b is as a savior. So the line number 12 we will add one more method, it's called show, void show. So whenever we called this void show method, show one method, so in the block which is line number 13 to 17 will be executed. So integer a comma, let's write as a string b. So these are the parameters. Line number 12 method with parameters. So for your understanding I am writing parameter. So for your understanding I am writing printing global variable. So in this method void show one method we did not introduce any local variable, so it will refer the global variable what we have added in line number 22. So let's add the method. Let's add, so the object name test, then we are going to call the method number line number 12 test dot show one. So we need to send two arguments a comma b. So a comma b, what is that? So integer a 99, b Anthony. So these two arguments will pass to line number 12. So that we got the output. So you can go through it. It's very simple only. So as we have commented, it was printing with our comments. So it's very easily understandable, I guess. So there is a change. So print a global variable. So the method void show represents local variable. The method void show one represents global variable. Insert show method print global variable a equal to 99. So it was referring only the global variable. So integer a9 we have a99 we have mentioned there. So it was passing the 99, then b value as Anthony to the line number 12. Then it was printing B as Anthony. Then inside show method print local variable integer a equal to 10. It was referring the local variable line number 7. So then it's printing the value 8 and 9. What it was there in line number 7. Then line number, it's a main statement only. So every programming language having the main statement. So this is the entry point of the program. So the execution will be starting from line number 20. Then it will come 20 to 27. So if there is any object we created, and then it will be called to particular object dot method. There is called a top down bottom up approach. This is called OOPS, object oriented programming. So for your understanding, I'm writing and I'm commenting as test is method, show is method name. No, the line number test is class name, and small test is a object name, and the news operator. Then test open close parenthesis is a class name only. Then do we need to explain anything there? Let's check it out. So this is very simple only, very simple program. What is the local variable? What is global variable? What is integer value? What is string? So in integer we will use numeric values. String we will use alphabets. Now we are going to introduce one more method, that is void show. The show2, this is the line number 20, and we are going to use 3 parameters. So whatever we are using inside the method open close parenthesis called as a parameters. So here we are using integer a, integer b, comma string c. So we are going to pass 2 integer values, 1 string values. So so inside from then we need to pass 3 arguments. Let's make small changes. So d equal to 12. Then you need to integer type of variable. Then our object is test dot show2 is there. Let's check it out. Yes, it's there. A B C. So A B C. So C is showing the error. So let's correct it as a D. Yeah. Then still showing some error. What is that? Let's check it out. A is integer, then B is string. From there, integer B you need to pass it. So we can pass A D. Then is there any other integer value do we have? A D. So inside line number 21 to 23 we need to print statement. So as far as this statement A B C, so 2 integers, 1 string value we are going to pass it. So A comma D, so that will be 2 integer values, B is a string value. So then these 2 argument line number 33 should be matched with line number 20. So let's print the first one, printing 3 parameters. Okay, values. Started printing three parameter values. Three parameter values. So now we are going to print these three values only. The three argument parameter, the value will be passed through argument parameter, then it will be printed in between the statement which we are going to use 22 to 26. So it's printed 9912 Anthony. So I think you will be easily understanding. Then next, what we can do, let's. So here, for your understanding, I am mentioning as method name. So the line number 5, 12, 20s are methods. Method or functions, both are same only. Then do I need to mention anything in detail? So the line number 35, it's object, test is object dot then method name show to is method name. There is in line number 28, adbs are arguments, the values we are consisting in line number 31. Then line number 29, main method, it's entry point of the program. So in every programming language you'll be having main method, that is the entry point of the program as well as the main method. So from where the program will start executing the statements. Then it's a class name, line number 3, class name. So here class name is test. So class name, easily you can understand it's a collective noun, non-common noun. School, if we consider the school as a class, oh, here you can check it out, what the output we are getting. So we got the nice output. So collective noun, we can call it as a class. School we can consider as a class. So inside class, inside school, what we have? Teachers, student, desk, bench. Those are objects. Then teachers, what they will do? So they will teach some subjects. So we can call them as a function. So in the school we will be having class, student, then objects, functions. So as per our requirement, we will code accordingly. Then next, so this is a Maven dependency. So here now let's see the another example. Let's remove these things. Then we'll be having only one method. So test.show will be having. Okay, let's check it out whether it's running correctly or not. Yes, it's running correctly. The next, so now we're going to see overloading and overriding. Overloading, same method with different parameters within a class is called overloading. Then overriding, methods are same, parameters are same, but they are from different classes. That is called overriding. So overloading we will call it as a compile time polymorphism, and overriding we will call it as a runtime polymorphism. So runtime in overriding it will get confusion. So which class should be referred? Parent class or child class? After we compile the program, it will automatically fetch the child class. Then it will start executing the child class. It will skip the parent class. So here first we will see the overloading. So parameters we are going to add, that is integer a, integer b, then string c. Then next so here we are adding the values for the variables. Integer a equal to 7, then integer b equal to 8, then string c equal to, in within double quotes you can give any words, sentence that can be used in our program. So currently we are having three values for the with the variables. Okay, next we are going to use another method, with first method consisting three parameters. So this method, so you need to change the name, line number 15, I guess. Let's change it one by one. So this is the method line number 15. It's going to print, I guess, global variable. Next that, so currently we have two methods. One method consists of three parameters, another method consists of only one parameter. So based upon that we need to pass the object dot method with the arguments. So one more method we have added, that will be integer a comma integer b. So when we look at these methods, method names are same. Line number 7, 15, line number 21. The method names are same, but parameters are different. Line number 21, we have three parameters, integer a, integer b, integer c. Then line number 15, we are having only one parameter, but the method's name is matching with line number 7, 21, 15, but the parameters are different. So the inside the methods, we are going to print the value which we have received through parameters from the arguments. So currently we are having integer a equal to 7, b equal to 8, string d equal to Anthony, then integer c equal to 5. So whenever you pass a string value, you need to pass it within double quote. So line number 32, we are going to pass three arguments, a, b, c. A, b, c are integer value only. So the method line number 21 will be executed. Then it will get into line number 23 to 25. The next 15th to 19th. Then let's write it test dot show. So you need to pass only one argument, that is c. As so you need to pass the d as a d only string now, the line number 30th. So the string value will be passed to line number 15th. Then the block 16 to 19 will be executed. Now we need to pass another method that is void show, line number 8, I guess. For that we are writing the statement object dot method then parameter. So integer a, b, string c. So two integer value, one string value you need to pass. So here a b, sorry, integer, then d is a string value. So it will reach line number 7, then it will be called line number 8 to 11. Then it will print the parameter values, what it was received from the argument. A B C you need to print. So let's make it there, ABD. So here ABD will be printing. So test line number 33, test dot show ABC. So the line number 33 will be reaching line number 22, 22 to 27. Line number 34 will be reaching 16 to 20. Then line number 35 will be 7 to 13 based upon the arguments parameters. So it's printing appropriate values what it was received from the global variables. This is what will happen when the program we run. So let's say change it as a D. So inside double code, whatever you prefer, you can add it. So these are the global variables only. It's not a local variable. So so we need to change it. But the value which was passed dynamically, that was correct. But inside the label, what we have added, now you can refer the console output. Please take time and go through it. You will understand easily. Don't worry. So equal to 7. So a equal to 7, we have global variable. Then b equal to 8. So it was printing. Then c equal to 5. So we got the appropriate values what we have passed through the line number 33. Then line number 34, d string we have passed Anthony. It was printed at the fourth value in the console. It was passed at the line number 16. So it was printing the Anthony string. So again we'll run it. I think there is an error. Let's correct it now. Change it. It's a D only should come there. So it's correctly printing. You can refer this console output. So line number 22, it's a method. So we have three parameters which are integer values only. So we have received integer A, B, C. So that will be line number 33. We are passing three values. Then next, do we need to add anything? Let's check it out. So the line number 22 will be called from 33. Then 35 will be line number 7. Then the inside the block of the method will be statement will be executed. So overloading is method names are same with a different parameter within a class. This is the definition for overloading. Then let's check it out whether do we need to cover anything else. So it was printing the values which was received through parameters. from the arguments. Now we are going to see the overriding. So what is overriding? Overriding is same method, same parameters, but they are from different classes. That is called overriding. So for your understanding, I am commenting this line number 6 about overriding different class. Then next, so it is then called as runtime polymorphism. So polymorphism in the sense one man different form. So in our home we'll be acting as children for our parent, but they will be acting in the school as a student. They will be acting as a public person in the public. So the person will be same, but they will be acting as a different people. So that is called polymorphism. So this is a definition. So it's been called as runtime polymorphism as it will get confused while runtime to execute base class or child class. Then finally it will be executing child class at the runtime. That is why we are calling it as a runtime polymorphism overriding. Okay, let's see. Let's create a new class so you'll be easily understanding about overriding. Let's give the class name here. So we have selected the package name sample, then right click, then new class. We have chosen the option from the given option. Sample program for overriding. So you need to check public static void main, then only this main statement will be available in your program. So here the package name is sample. So the class name, so one more class we are going to add for our programming, that will be class Anthony. So you need to add one method within the class, then that will be public void show. So the first class line number 2 to 8. So SYSO you type, then press in the keyboard control space bar. Then automatically it will give you the system.out.println. No need to type full characters one by one. Okay, this is the second class line number 12. Second class. So same method name we can include in the line number 13th class. So we are having two classes, two methods, but the method names are same as public void show. Public void show. This is child class. The first one will be parent class. For your understanding, I am writing as comment. I am commenting this for your understanding. So the line number 2 is parent class, line number 13 is child class. So the line number 4 to 7 is method public void show. The line number 16 to 9 is public void show. The method belongs to sample program for overriding. So the output will be inside child class. So it was executing child class method only inside child class. You could see this is the overriding. So even though we have written two methods, it was referring the child class method only. This is called overriding. So the runtime it got confusion. So which method it wanted to execute? So the runtime only it took the decision to execute the child class of the method, that is line number 16 to 19th. So for your understanding, I'm writing it's been called as a runtime polymorphism, as it will get confusion while compile time, as it was having two methods with same name. So the runtime it will come to final conclusion as executing the child class method. So if you get a chance to answer what is overriding in the interview part, you can say this reference line number 11 what I have given. This is the different definition for overriding. So the methods are same, but they are from different classes. Methods are same with the same parameters, but they are from different classes. That is called overriding. Then you can include the point which I have mentioned, the line number 4. Now we are going to see packages in Java. So package is nothing but we can consider it as a bag. So bag, what we will do, we will keep something inside the bag. So whatever things we require, we will keep keep it inside. Then whenever we require, we'll take it out. Likewise, we have created one package that is called a sample. So here we are going to create one class. This class name is test1. This test1 class is inside the package is sample. So in this class we are going to add only one method, that is public void show. So let's SYSO, then control spacebar, the last button, control then spacebar, last lengthy button in the keyboard. So inside whatever you type, it will be reflected in the console while we run the program. Inside test1 class of show method. So here package name is sample, class name is test1, then method name is show. Then we are going to create one more class with main method. This is a very interesting part. So we have checked main statement, then it will be available in our programming. So now we are importing the package name dot previous class name. Import package name sample dot, it will automatically give you the suggestion test1. Test1 is the class name, previous class name, which we have written previously just now. Now we are going to create object for this class, for that class, that is a test1 class. We are creating the object from here, from test2 class, for the class test1 from package sample. So in this class we are having the class name is test1 and the method name is show and the package name is sample. So both class test1 test2 are same package only. So now we are going to create the object for the class name test1. Now we are in test2. End it with colon. Then the object name is a dot. Then what is the method we are having in test1? Show. We have saved. Let's run it right now. Then so inside test1 class of show method. It's very interesting. Inside method, inside show method, what we have? It was executing from this class to that class. So let's remove this one. this and also let's remove. For your convenience, you can pause the video, then you can go through the coding, then you can try from your side, then run it. You'll get the good output if you don't miss it anything while teaching. So we have created a class name as test3. The package name is sample. So this is the new class which we have created just now. Now we are going to see the interface in Java. Through the interface we can achieve. Java generally will not support the multiple inheritance. So through interface we can achieve the job what we will expect from the multiple inheritance. So in the inheritance block will be initializing some methods. The same method will be using the following classes. For your understanding, I am commenting. You can make a note of it. Interface it's a keyword. The interface name is Anthony. Then open close braces. So you can implement the interface with the class test3. So we are we are having some methods, variables, whatever we have declared inside the interface we can utilize in the following classes. So we have implementing the interface. So the line number 5 to 7 is method void show. So colon you need to place it there, then there I will go. So we are going to add one variable also, integer a equal to 7. So we can use both method as well as variable to the coming classes. So currently we are having the class 11, line number 11. So we are having the method here following class test3 public void show. So the method which we have declared line number 5, the same method we are using line number 12. Then line number 14 we are using one print statement. So we are printing the value which we have declared in the line number 6 within the interface that is accessible. So when we run it, we will get the output. So we need to we need to call the show method. So how we can call it? So we need to create the object for the class. Then we need to call the method with the object dot method name. So in our case, we have created the object for the class test3, then a dot show method name, the line number 12. So when we run it, we'll get the output as 7. So what we have in line number 6. This is what interface is working. Just go through it, you'll get clarity. So you can refer the definition, line number 18th. The next, do we need to cover anything? Line number, so here package we are using sample at the top of the program, it's available. As we have created this class below the sample package. Then next, right click, let's remove it. Then we'll go to another example, class public static void main. So we have checked. So the main statement will be available in our program when we launch it. Now we are going to see inheritance. So the inheritance definition is base class properties are accessible from the child class. So this is a definition. So in the base class, whatever we have declared, it is accessible from the child class. This is a definition. You can use it. So now we are going to see what is inheritance. So the class is Anthony, and we will declare some values with variables. It is integer a equal to 8. So here we are using the keyword extends. So the class Anthony we are extending with the class test. So we are connecting two classes. So the second class we are having the main method. So we are creating the object for the second class, child class, that is test. We are creating the object, then so then control space bar. So now we are going to print the value. So for that you need to type as a object dot yes. Object dot a, the variable name is a. So for the clarity I will add few characters. So object name is ap, then dot a is the line number 7, the variable which consists the value as 8. So when we save it and we can run the program, we'll get the output as 8. So this is called inheritance. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel so that you will get some updates and videos to the coming days. Thank you for watching.